Hey YouTube, Jack here from Curious Culture. Today I'd like to share some thoughts about my diet as of late and also my training. So in recent videos I did the carnivore diet strictly, lost a lot of weight, a fair bit of that was water, and as I'm progressing week by week with the gym and trying to get in great shape, which takes time, I'm realising that the carnivore diet for me, personally, in my experience, may not be the right diet all the time. Now, it certainly has its place sometimes, but I can't help but agree with some people online who say that carbohydrates help a lot with exercise. There's a lot of studies about how carbohydrates help replenish glycogen, which gets used up massively from exercise, and you just feel good after having a good carbohydrate meal after a long run or whatever it may be that you're doing for exercise. I've written a bit of a journal here that I'd like to share about my life as of late with this exercise and food experiment to see what works. So today I started my day with a bowl of 1 banana and some Greek yogurt. This is a small amount of carbs. I had a black coffee as well. I then went to the gym and jogged mostly 6 kilometres with some brisk walking within that for quick breaks. It was a difficult jog and I initially felt good after, then started to feel quite low a few hours later. After the jog, pretty much immediately I had 4 boiled eggs and an avocado, thinking, okay, this is more of a ketogenic option, and a coffee with some milk. I decided, because I've done 17 kilometres this week of cardio, consisting mostly of jogging, I'd need some carbohydrates. This is a strategic time to take carbohydrates because the body is under a lot of demand from the exercise and it literally needs carbs to replenish stores, glycogen stores. I also feel so much steady energy from carbs. Carnivore diet has its place. In my experience, it helps in maybe 1 week blocks. The screen goes up quick. To help lower body weight. Weight loss and getting fit is a patient process. It's better to listen to your body's needs rather than being fixated on a mental model because of the pride of being right gets in the way of what's actually true for your health and what you need. So I decided to have a kebab with mixed meats and veggies plus some small chips and a can of Mountain Dew. Lots of calories that I need to care for my training routine and replenish my body. Today is Friday. On Tuesday, I did 11 k's jogging, to my surprise, and today set 6 kilometres and I plan on 4 kilometres Sunday. I'll have a moderate portion of rice before my jog on Sunday to achieve a good sustained exercise state for the jog. That'll be 21 kilometres for the week, which is really solid for where I'm at. That's a half marathon over a week for me, which I'm glad about. I'm about 128 kilos, so I started about 136 a few weeks ago, so I've lost about 8 kilos. I enjoy watching Nick Barry's, if I've pronounced that right, YouTube content, and he takes sodium with salt and carbs before his runs. I think carbs are great for performance. This has all been a great learning curve and I'm happy to refine my understanding as we go for what works for me. Like a lot of you are probably noticing about the internet now and knowledge is that there's someone on this side of the argument that has all the credentials you'd look up to. They might be a doctor or whatever, and they say, oh, carnivore is the best diet, don't have any carbs, but don't need them, etc. And then you've got other people like Joe Rogan who are like, nah, I just didn't have that sustained energy through workouts, which might seem more anecdotal in nature from an evidence point of view. And I agree with Joe because the carbs really help give you that sustained energy. A banana's alright, but it's more like the moderate sort of amount of rice or whatever that really gives you that good carb load to get through. My dad used to do marathons and he'd have a big plate of pasta the night before, and his body would be screaming for McDonald's after his marathon. So, don't know, it just seems like glycogen and glucose are very important. I don't know what to believe online. Yeah, because not so much Joe Rogan and the doctor, it's more like doctor and doctor opposing views about carbohydrates. So it's like, well, what's true? So in my experience, I thought, well, the best thing to do is learn from my direct experience. And so tried carnivore, felt super depleted from workouts, like, yeah, pretty much. And then, happened to come across like Joe Rogan saying, oh, like having rice before a workout just gives such a good performance. And so I'm just like, I can't help but agree with him. It really helps. And I think a little trap that people can get in with the carnivore diet is thinking, oh, cool, I'm just going to lose all this weight. And you do look better because of the water loss. You might look a bit leaner and good musculature. And that ties into what bodybuilders do before a contest. But what the reality is like with lots of training is that we need a lot of energy if we're going to be doing long runs and that. So yeah, it's in my experience lately, I feel so much better after having a bunch of carbs if I've been pushing my body hard. I suppose if you're not doing a lot physically, then carnivore could be better suited. Hey, I'm always learning, and I just want to try and join this wave of discovering knowledge and truth about diet and exercise to try and optimize myself in this regard. So, I'm excited to continue down this path and keep learning. And I would love to hear feedback in the comments about what other people's experiences are. Maybe you've done carnivore diet for a while and you've realised you don't need carbs, and look, I might go back to full carnivore and realise that carbs are not the answer. So, but hey, look, I'm always open to a new perspective, a new way of doing things. So, this is fun. Like, I'm going to keep learning, and yeah, I hope you've gained something from this video, and I wish you an awesome day. Thank you, bye.